I just have some I agree, Ms. Mayor. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. I mean, it's up to you if you want to continue the questions and answers up here right now. But if you would like to make a motion and have it tabled, then you can get with the city manager, and if any of the other commissioners have questions, they could be answered and it could be put on the next agenda.
I think we can put it to rest here tonight, if that's okay. My questions are simple. Again, I go back to the fact that from the time that we gave the $30,000 in August, the city of Deerfield Beach did, the payment to catch up on the water bill was made in September. Between September and now, we have not received a single payment when it comes to our water bill. So we now have, I believe it's over $15,000 that is owed on the water bill for these units. This $30,000 going back here 6 months later will catch them up to speed. And I have talked to Mr. Poitier, and Dan has informed me that what they're looking to do is restructure at that point with the additional money to kind of change the direction that they're going with these units. My concern is here we are 6 months later, again, giving more money to, there hasn't been a good faith gesture to try to catch up with pay the water bills. That's what bothers me.
Mr. Gass, let me say, and I asked the city attorney to call the Division of Ethics because I know this has to be discussed. Mm-hmm. And when you say there hasn't been a good faith effort, there's been look at that financial statement and see how much money they have to borrow to provide affordable housing for the residents of Deerfield Beach.
I understand that. Well, I just got the, if I may, Madam Commissioner, I just received this, and I'm trying to look at that as you're speaking to me and trying to justify this again. And I understand that the expenditures are there, but we're still giving $30,000. Again, that's $60,000 within 6 months, and I have concerns.
And don't forget, when we asked for this money to be placed in the budget, it was asked that no organization get it more than twice. I think I made a good faith effort when I spoke to the city manager and told him what was needed. And at that time, the commissioners voted for it. I don't know who voted against it.
No one did.
But no one did, okay. Now, you and I can't discuss it, but tonight I can assure you that they are in debt up to over $100,000 trying to keep $650 for 2 bedrooms available to people in Deerfield Beach. Now, this is the only little section that they brought up to look like people should live there. Other than that, if you go on that corner, did you go to the addresses?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you see what's around it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, does it not look like we're in a third world country over there?
There's definitely some concerns there.
Okay, well, that's all this is about. The water which the city was giving is a fine gesture to help with. And when I suggested them as a commissioner, I said to them, the city of Deerfield Beach cannot help you pay staff and pay other administrative costs. You need to get this money and use it for a purpose that will benefit all of the citizens.
All the citizens within those buildings.
In those buildings and in District 2. Mm-hmm. Okay, because over there you have a poor situation where you have, the last to be hired and the first to be fired, all this layoff, all this vacancy. And they had the building since 1992. No one thought that they would fail now, but due to the economic times, you have the financial statement there, and whatever you can do to help, we appreciate it. We don't intend to ask you for no more. I don't intend, as long as I'm here, to ask you for no more for Westside Businessman. I don't think I want to ever go back on my word. The last time I did not vote because my daughter is the chairperson of that board, who has not received not 1 penny since 1990. My husband and her and other business people organized that group because of the deficiencies and the lack of diversity within that district. Now, here we come. I said to the city attorney, I might have to vote. I would hope I wouldn't have to, with my daughter being there, to show any impropriety or even put in a person's mind that she's benefited. She's here. She can answer for herself. So if you want to ask a question.
Well, I'd like to get the opportunity to, yeah.
Yeah, ask her a question. If you want to put her under oath, I'm sure she could stand being under oath.
No, I'll take her word for it.
But I know that I asked Mr. Marody to make this resolution based on affordable housing. And the affordable housing, either you need to give me some water, you need to give me some renovations in dilapidated kitchens, some new stoves where people is cooking on 1 and 2 hours. You know, if you had this kind of question, I would have appreciated that you asked me.
I
would
can't.
take you
Sunshine laws would not allow me to do
You
that.
wasn't elected then.
Okay. Well,
You just got elected last
Okay.
week.
Let me ask you, would you consider having a workshop on this? Because obviously, you're not going to get in this way
Well,
about the money and where it's going, and then all the figures will be presented to us, and we can have a public workshop on it, and then all the answers to
Well,
the
that would
questions
give
will
the
be able.
sunshine law.
We can have.
I'm hoping, and then I'm also hoping if you have a workshop, my 4 years is up on the 2-year, term. If you want to carry it over, that's fine. Maybe I won't ask for no more. I'll just do what I need to do accordingly.
Right.
When it's time to vote, okay?
Okay.
But I can vote tonight. I need that. So
Right.
it's just Mr. Gans is against it. Let him discuss it with them. Then after that, I would suggest you take a vote if nobody else is against it.
That's fine. If it's all right, I would like to ask some questions if I can get
Yeah,
answers.
there they
That
are.
might help this along. And thank you for providing the statement, Mr. Poitier. I appreciate that, because I did request this, and I wish we'd gotten a little bit earlier, but that might have helped things. My concern is this, and as I told you before on the phone, is that this is $60,000 now going towards you guys in 6 months. Clearly, the water bill was not paid before 6 months ago. It was brought up to speed in September when you received the $30,000 at that time. You're asking for an additional $30,000, yet there hasn't been a payment made since then to the city for their water bill. My concern is this, is at what point does this end? I understand you're having some difficulties, and a lot of people are. I just want to get some assurances that coming back to the well again, that this isn't something that's going to be a recurring thing. I understand that you told me that you're looking to do some restructuring. You have to get up to speed, obviously, or you have to catch up on what the outstanding water bill is. But and when I mentioned good faith, my concern was this: there has not been a single payment of the water bill since you received the last $30,000. So now we've accrued up to over $15,000. My concern is here we are giving another $30,000. What are we going to do to prevent this, and what can we do moving forward?
Well, moving forward, we are going to restructure so that,
Pick up your mic.
I'm sorry,